All right, everybody, welcome back to the Mark Thru. We appreciate you guys holding tight while we kind of got through our competition season and got through the holidays. So now we're back in 2020, episode 6. We'll be here. Well, this is episode 6. Gonna give some love to this episode's sponsor, Clark Specialties, the maker of the theme song of the show. You're going to hear a lot of their great mixes coming up this week with College Nationals, coming up a few weeks later with High School Nationals. I know we're kind of all planning our next season, so if you are looking to change your music provider or looking for something fresh or you need music and didn't have any this year, Clark Specialties is the place you need to check out. Thanks to Clark Specialties for sponsoring this episode, and thank you for listening and being a subscriber of the Mark Thru. Hey, Lauren!
You ready for this? Who live is X? Who lit is this? Who real is us? We too legit. We are M-A-R-K-T-H-R-U Mark Thru Podcast. Listen and learn, watch and observe. Challenging us, they got some nerve. He great. You mad? Don't hate. Get to it. Don't wait. We do not hesitate. We doing what it takes. What we do. Mark Thru.
All right.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do it. Spoiler alert for Cheer on Netflix. We're going to talk about all of it. Cheer on Netflix.
So good. It's so good.
It's so good. We crushed it in what, 2 days? 3 days?
Yeah, I think we could have done it faster had we not had nationals practice ourselves and like 2 basketball games this week.
And a kid.
You know, baby, she's sleeping upstairs.
She interrupted Monica a lot. Monica would have been very unhappy about Murphy's attitude.
100%. 100%.
But yes, wow, what a show.
It's so...
I had no idea this was coming until, they started releasing the trailer and then hype stuff.
It's not like we waited for this for months. Like,
exactly.
This is a total surprise. Did we miss that?
No, and that's what I was going to say, is there was not like a big announcement. Navarro wasn't like, hey, we're being followed this year, which who would do that?
Only those who wish bad luck upon them.
Exactly. So, they let the cameras hang around and they were there anyways and stuff. So I think that's why we didn't know. And also, we don't know anybody on Navarro last year, like personally. So why would we be aware of, of a very intensive personal biographical story of the team? It's wasn't relevant on our news feed.
No, that was such a nice surprise to come in after the new year, and there's a huge cheer docuseries on Netflix.
6 episodes, 6 full hours of just glorious cheerleading. Which
was not expecting that though.
No.
I mean, you jump on Netflix and you're like, Cheer, a docuseries, and you're like, great, is this another bad Bring It On? Like,
that's how Netflix marketed it.
Oh,
they said it's a mix of Last Chance U and Bring It On, and the comments are just full of people that are like, Bring It On is fiction, Bring It On is silly, Bring It On is supposed to be funny and a mocking of what we do. Don't try to bring this in if that's what you want it to be serious, because
it had no glimpse of Bring It On whatsoever. No. It was fully raw and very honest about.
It was hard hitting.
Yeah, and I just loved how honest it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like being on an NCAA collegiate team my freshman year of college, it could not have portrayed a more accurate depiction of what it is like for an NCAA team to train and go down to Daytona. Mm-hmm. Now, I've been on a UCA college team and an NCAA college team, and I would watch that with UCA eyes only and be like, I don't know that our lead up to Orlando was the same, but being a part of a NCAA team and watching their collegiate lead up to Daytona, it could not have been more accurate. Mm-hmm. Like, I just was so, wow.
Well, it reminded me of probably about 5, 6 years ago, a student at Oklahoma State made Daytona Dreams, a little kind of following of their program and their team and those weeks leading up to going to Daytona and going to Nationals. So having that in mind and then watching this, but I mean, this was made by the same guy who made Last Chance U, which is a big Netflix, long football story, very intensive. I think he's done a couple others, but to have somebody with that knowledge of sports media and the knowledge and the respect of the sporting community already looks up to that, to that kind of example. And then they were able to say, hey, cheerleading's pretty legit. Yeah. They didn't have to say, look at how tough they are. Yeah. They just said, this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
And Navarro was out there, and they're doing it.
Gosh, it was just so raw.
It was refreshing.
I agreed. That's a very good word for it.
Like, refreshing to just have people say, this is cheerleading. And for us who have known that type of cheerleading to say, yes, it is.
Yeah, it really is. And I just really enjoyed nothing being sugar-coated. Like, in one episode, they had 3 top girls, all 3 got concussions. In any other...
Hurts your soul to see as a coach, because you're like, oh, they're out, they can't do anything, shuffling, all the issues that come along with 1 concussion, but 3?
Or you can be the skeptical person or the skeptical coach and be like, why weren't they doing more progressions? Why was there 3 concussions in 1 practice? But college cheerleading, you can have that much of an off day.
Done in a second.
And that happens in a second.
Yeah. And
it's not that the coach didn't prepare them correctly. It's not that they were throwing things they were incapable of throwing. It is just what this sport can do to you. You're stacking humans on humans, throwing them 15, 20 feet in the air, and then having to toss, re-catch, throw, whatever it is. It's crazy. Especially as coaches, we don't like to post when our kids fall. We don't like to post when our kids are hurt. That's not an okay thing. And so for them in this series to just be very open of this is what 4-1 full house looks like, and this is what a fall. This is what if you don't make that catch, you're looking at 8 weeks sitting out for your top girl. Yeah,
you're looking at 2 weeks out where that side of the pyramid doesn't get to practice.
Yeah.
And that's the refreshing part, is because that's the realism that we face.
Absolutely.
That's the realism that any competitive team faces, is you're going to have injuries. Just like a basketball team will have injuries. Somebody's going to turn their ankle in practice and be out for that day, maybe that next day. Guess what? The person on the bench steps right in and has to run the play. Yeah. And that's what you saw every single time. It was, okay, this person's getting their shoulder checked out. Jerry, you're going in, Jerry.
Should we talk about our favorites of the show? Because obviously Jerry is a big fan favorite. But I have to say, I'm a Morgan stan. Major
Morgan stan. Morgan, if you come through Denver and on your way home to see your grandparents in Wyoming,
oh my gosh,
and you want to come be on the show,
I geek out.
You're more than welcome to come on the show.
She's like a young little girl, and I'm like, I would love to meet you. No, Morgan is just the purity of cheerleading. I just see, and I'm sure lots of people, but I see so much of my younger self in Morgan of just oh, I need to be more flexible. Oh, this is what this is in Daytona. Just kind of a you know cheerleading, but you don't know the level of cheerleadling that
she wasn't born into a gym in the suburbs, just doing her little back walkover.
Yeah,
she's lived her life. She's lived in a very intense life so far.
Is adorable.
Very adorable. Yeah. And so Morgan stan.
Yes.
Lauren is a Morgan stan.
The biggest. But I also loved Jerry. Jerry is, I would love to coach a team full of Jerrys.
Just excited to be at every practice. Excited to be there, whether they're participating, supporting. Jerry, you set an awesome example.
I think so too. So I hope that this helps a lot of athletes just kind of realize your position as an alternate at first is
it can change. Other top favorite moments. I'm a big fan of Ladarius and his just his whole journey has been awesome to see and hear it unfold. But watching him in those initial practices, being frustrated, having that attitude, and then by the end of that season, 70 days later, towards the end of the recording, you see him making that phone call to Allie. He is being mature, and he talks about that. He gets that from Jerry,
and Monica.
And from Monica, totally. Yeah. But seeing that and just knowing, being in those positions, being in those co-ed relationships, it's tough. You're gonna get hurt by the other person, physically, mentally. You can feel let down by them, and just to see him say, okay, I might have had the bad attitude, but she needs my support to know that I trust her to do her job. And just him making that phone call, that was a very big highlight for me of the whole show.
That was really cool. It's so good.
Cheer media, baby.
Yeah,
Cheer media. Always
so
love to see it.
And it was good for the sport. And the sport needed it. The sport needed show the world our honesty.
It's been trending on Netflix. Like, you go on to Netflix, it's one of the top trending shows.
I love it.
It's a buzz on all of social media.
How many texts have you gotten from people that are like, oh my gosh, I just watched this Cheer series. I thought of you. This is so crazy.
Got quite a few, yeah.
I did too. And it was from non-cheer people, or it was like from my best friends from high school who knew that I went on and did it in college. And they all just kind of were like, we had no idea what you guys do. Like, we did. Like, we saw you at basketball games, or we saw you, sideline cheering, and when we saw pictures from nationals, but they had no idea. What it takes. Well, I mean, just the popularity of it in general. You have Monica's tweeting with Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen's like, hey, can I try out in 2021? And sharing her old, high school cheer picture. Like, hey, I still have eligibility. I'm not making Navarro, but I still have eligibility.
I have some too, honey, but I don't have a back.
Oh, God.
But, that's just the popularity that this is reaching. There's articles from NPR, from the Washington Post, just nonstop buzz about this, and that just goes to help our sport so much.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to see, and I hope they do a season 2.
I do too. I would love that.
We'll see if they do. There's been no announcement or anything, but
something I just thought of when we were talking about Monica having her 14th. I know that in the show they were like, okay, well, we're gonna flip the script, and I want to see 41 full outs before we go to Daytona. And I thought that was such an interesting concept as a coach. So I know we're now pushing this team to be more competitive, and we're finally getting our program to the point where we can say we need to see this many full outs. But I just thought, wow.
I counted today because when we were finishing watching
them,
they were like, this one's number 39, and this one, we're getting ready. There's like a couple of days till Daytona. So I went through and I counted all the ones I'd uploaded.
Okay.
And so we did 21 uploaded. So I'd probably say we've done 5 more that I haven't uploaded.
Yeah, I'd say.
Whether it's been because I haven't been in practice when you were there. So I bet we're at 26 full outs.
Awesome.
So far,
Well,
and that goes
good.
back to
Well, now
the
I'm
start
going to
of
start
October.
keeping track of them because they were, and I was like, that's not a bad idea. Obviously not a bad idea. Monica knows what she's doing.
Do we need to buy an iPad? It's the success in the iPad, because, man, she didn't put that down. She was analyzing film, recording, watching last year, watching other people. It was all about the iPad.
Okay, but you can't talk because we do the same thing with our iPhone.
I know, it's just funny because
you take
iPod.
so much
we just
film.
Noticed it.
Yeah, I did notice she never put the iPad down, but you and I are just as bad. We record every practice, and in the summer leading up to camp, you stuck your phone on a little tripod and recorded all of practice just to watch things and like go back and critique things. And
yeah, had to get the knowledge.
Cheerleading happens so fast. I think it is nice to bring it home. You and I can watch film, digest it, and be like, shoot, I totally missed that. We need to fix that tomorrow. It's a good way to keep learning.
Let's ask if we can put a TV in the commons.
Done. That's what I'll ask for.
And then we
this
just
spring.
need to get just like an adapter.
Okay.
So So we can just be like, watch.
Yep, we need that.
Yeah.
We really do. They learn well from that too.
Because
Okay.
it's so hard showing her. And I get why she has the iPad. It's a little bigger to show 2-3 kids at a time than being like, look at my little phone.
We might need an iPad. Now I'm thinking about it, we might need an iPad. But overall, I feel like the message that they're sending out, not even about cheer, but as a team, I love how different every person they followed was.
They showed a lot of
that,
different journeys.
that they are all on the same team, reaching for the same goal, and they're accepted, not for being anybody but themselves. And I thought that was so cool. And I hope that other people watch it and take that away from it.
Nowadays, I don't even see that, but I feel like that's from the outside.
Yeah.
People who don't know cheerleading are like, well, you couldn't be a cheerleader. You're not like a cheerleader.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like my team accepts me as a cheerleader. You don't know our team? And I thought that was a really great interpretation. Everybody did have these varied backgrounds. And I know that they only touched on, 5 or 6 of the kids like really closely, but I do know from reading things on social media that they interviewed most of the kids. They interviewed a lot of them, and they just picked and chose what stuck out and what told the best story.
Best
so
narrative.
So think of all the other stories that could have been told just from that same group of kids, because there's people come from all types in cheer, and that's what was really, once again, refreshing to see.
Yes,
that it wasn't just a bunch of wealthy kids at some all-star gym. It wasn't just, the cream of the crop that ended up going here.
And I think that'll be the difference of if they do a next cheer series, if they do a university, it's going to be very different kids. More than likely.
Yeah.
More than likely. Because for Monica, it sounds like she can hand out good scholarships.
Yeah.
For most other big universities,
they're not handing out cash.
They're not. They're really not. So that's gonna be different if they decide to do kind of what we're.
If we're like
all
season 2, come on.
Really, I'd be
season
happy
2.
with anything. I loved it. It was so good.
Yeah, it was so good. Any other final thoughts on Cheer on Netflix?
Favorite like thing, like favorite funny scene.
Favorite funny scene. When they introduced the fake fighting, the bad girls.
Yes.
When they're in the dorm and they're introducing that, just me and my friends have never watched Bad Girls Club.
I'm in the Bad Girls Club. Don't even. I'm in the Bad Girls Club.
But it just brought me back to just being with my bros and somebody's doing nothing, just arguing about whatever was on TV or whatever somebody put up on their phone, and that brought me so much joy, because that gave me all the cheer nostalgia from my days in college cheer.
For sure, just sitting in the dorm watching TV.
Yeah, sitting on somebody's couch.
Yes.
Just cracking up laughing at something dumb that either happened earlier in the day, something that you watched on TV, just pure joy with your friends.
And when that got brought to practice and Monica started like fake fighting too, it was so funny, and it was just a good reminder that when coaches are happy and you're doing your job, coaches can be fun too. My favorite funny part was when they were down in Daytona and they started showing that their breakdown was kind of getting longer or whatever, and when they would do shark fake, ooh ha ha, and then the ring of fire, I loved the ring of fire. I just thought that was so funny, and I think it was
so random,
but it's just great how like the whole team's yelling, and then I think it was one of their stumblers, he just throws his hands up and he's like, the ring of fire, and then they all respond. It's just awesome. I thought it just tickled me. I thought it was so cute, so good.
Yeah, it was a good show.
It was great.
So, who would you want to see if you are friends with Greg Whiteley?
I want to see another good competitive team, and
a team that has the pressure of having repeat success.
and I want them to be good, but also like sideline cheering. So I want to see that their commitments, like at football games and at basketball games, and then like obviously I'm leading towards a UCA school here. I would love to see University of West Georgia, or I would love to see Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana would be cool to watch.
Yeah, and maybe I would say Indiana only because their basketball is big. And their football's pretty big, but I would say their basketball's bigger, and that kind of goes right in line with being really busy for national season. I also wonder if a team that was maybe getting ready for like the national championship and juggling.
Like how Alabama's had to do that for years.
Yeah. And it's like I want an all-girl team because that was, since Navarro was a co-ed team, it's like, okay, this one I want. It's like, it's so picky about what I want to say. So I don't have a very good answer, but.
It's a very long-winded
I know. There's so many teams I would love to see, but if I can just keep it simple, I want to see an all-girl UCA team. I think that wins.
Everyone wants the all-girl UCA.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I come from the UCA side as well, strictly from that side.
Yeah.
I of course am going to want to pick a team similarly, but you'll want to see it, Kentucky. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, coming from somebody who was watching Cheerleader U back in the day when they were following them from camp to nationals.
Solid answer.
That was awesome then. I was in school at that time, when that was happening. So I'd love to see that now. Obviously, it becomes a lot harder when you have these bigger schools because then they have to get permission from these games that they're at, from these
See, you're
bigger
already
brands.
thinking on the media side of it, of like
It's
what
a
they
lot
can
harder
get to.
for
I get
Navarro. They're like, let's go. We
Yeah.
want all the exposure we can. Let's send as many students to our school in Corsicana.
Yeah.
But Kentucky's a big school. They've got a waiting list every year, every fall for students. Because Kentucky's won 24 times. Navarro went and won their 14th. That was awesome to see.
Incredible.
That's all been under Monica, but 24 have been all under T. Lynn.
Yeah.
And there's 10 at least. I'm not sure what Jomo's exact count is now, but I know he's been there for I believe over a decade, and so he's got his 10. So they're going for 25 this year. We'll see.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, because if we do get to see a season 2 who I would want to see, which would be Kentucky, we can watch their routine right now. Somebody just posted it from today. So
Perfect.
We're gonna just watch this.
Okay, so this was just posted.
Yeah, so this was today. They played somebody.
Just a Hansky.
Yeah, so the new model of a routine, 2 elites. So that was their first one. Some standing fulls from the ladies.
That was a lot of standing fulls. Probably majority.
See, and what's funny is IME towards the beginning of the first half.
That's interesting, right? That's typically something I would have expected to see after the cheer.
Yeah, but they wanted to tumble from the back, which was very impressive. All 7 girls full just now. Nice 1-on-1s. So this.
So rewind 1-to-1, like stretch to stretch.
But holding the stretch.
That's
through the
so
sweat.
hard.
That's
so
crazy.
hard. Beautiful.
That was impressive. Was it double around?
From peg leg.
So here's elite number 2. With the music stall. That's always impressive. I don't appreciate not seeing the Kentucky run into those baskets, though. I will say that.
I guess they really kind of haven't. I saw one girl doing the Kentucky run right before the cheer.
I don't know the rules with the Kentucky run, but I'm just saying I'm missing it right now. My cheer soul needs it. Yeah, so solid hit for them today, performing at Rupp.
Yep, they looked good.
Yeah.
They did look good. They always look good. I don't know if we're biased by that, but...
Now the question is, are they beatable? This said, Kentucky's up there. Kentucky's still the team to beat.
Yeah.
But is that the routine that could be beaten? Can somebody beat them? We'll find out next week.
I know. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
I
So
am
yeah,
too.
so College Nationals next week. UCA and UDA College Nationals. Friday partner stunt. So 2 years ago there was the brief hiatus, so it's back fully in action. And then Saturday morning semi-start. So all girl starts like at 8 a.m. our time. We're hyped to watch that. We're gonna
have a watch party.
Yep, watch party. And then there's some Saturday finals, of course, but then Sunday finals, Sunday night finals. That's what the goal is. That's what it always was for us. Is make it to Sunday, and then you better hit on Sunday in your whites, because you came too far at this point.
Yeah, in Wichita State, we just had one chance.
Yeah.
One chance and you were placed.
Yeah.
So
It's so weird that Division I is like that.
Yeah, so we competed Saturday night and found out how we did Saturday night, but it would be at like 10:30 at night.
All
so
right.
with you saying Kentucky could be, you think that routine can be beatable?
If they hit it like that, no, it cannot be.
Okay.
If they hit it like that or better, no, it cannot be beaten, because those skills, I think, are too high.
Do you have
My second place? Is that what you're wondering?
Yes.
My second place. I haven't really seen any other routines fully.
I know.
So that's what makes it tough. I
Yeah.
wish it was more common for people to post these a week out, 2 weeks out.
We need to post a bracket.
Right? Stuff like that. But based on the last few years, I would have to say I'm intrigued to see how Ohio State looks.
Yes.
They've been climbing, so I'm intrigued to see where they'll end up.
Me too.
Biggest thing about nationals, you gotta hit.
Yeah.
Just like for high school,
That's
just
all it
like
is.
for any level, you have to hit.
And what a simple thing to say for how hard it is to do. All you have to do is hit. Oh, that's all I have to do?
Oh, you
That's
just
the
have to
only
keep everything up, everything timed together.
Can never touch the ground. Can't
Don't
let anything
fall.
funky happen.
Don't stumble
Oh,
on your
but
feet.
you just want me to hit. Okay.
But it's a routine against yourself. That's
It
why
is.
mental toughness is so big in cheerleading. You have to say, I'm going to go out and do X, Y, and Z. And then you have to make yourself do X, Y, and Z. And if you don't hit.
Yeah. What did they say in cheer?
Your opponent's in the mirror.
Yes, I loved that too. That was so good. Like, y'all, we don't have any competition here. The biggest competition you have is looking back at you in the mirror. And I was like, bang, amen. Preach.
Yep. So, do you think Kentucky, if they hit that, will win? Number 25?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. It's a good variety of skills. They go from double ups to full up pull throughs to high stretch to stretch.
Lots of tumbling.
Lots of tumbling. I think they'll be fine. They just need to execute and not move.
Okay, so then going into D1A All-Girl, who do you think will be taking home the crown?
I just want everybody to win.
It's such a packed division. Indiana, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Florida, Ole Miss, Colorado, Texas State, add in Rutgers, Western Kentucky, Florida State. I mean, San Diego State. I'm sure there's other teams that aren't even on here.
We truly need to make a bracket.
Right?
These amazing all-girl programs.
Minnesota.
Yeah, another one. That's another one. I want them all to do well. Realistically, who is going to be at the top? My guess is Indiana's going to bring it home. And that just goes back to my Midwest roots where, I want Indiana to do well.
Hey, you gotta support your fellow Shocker. Tony coaches them.
Hey, exactly.
Go Shocks.
Exactly. Go Shocks. Go Tony. I love a good Indiana spell out. I'm an Indiana stan. But
Word of the day, Stan.
you just do have those other kind of underdogs like USF. They were so good last year. And I cannot wait to see how they look this year. And if they're in the top 3, top 1, I'm gonna be.
I'd lose my mind.
We have one of our kids on that team now. Like
Leighton and Sandy coach that team. They've been
right.
on our show.
Right. Like I just we root for CU. We're in Colorado now. That's officially our home team. Like
John and Courtney.
We
One
just-
of our alums are on that team.
we
Two of our alums.
have two alums on that team. And
one
like
we've coached.
regardless, the whole division's good. I am gonna try to make a bracket to put up on the Mark Thru because I think that would just be fun.
A bracket or
Yeah.
like just a fill out of which division you think?
All
is
of the
gonna
above.
win? All of the above?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Should we bet on it too?
You know, only between you and I and only our money, nobody else's.
Okay. Alright, okay. Okay, moving to our next division.
Small co-ed.
Wait, did I answer who I think is
No, you didn't.
gonna win?
Who do you? So what are your thoughts? All girl D1A.
Based on not seeing anybody's
I
routines
know.
because nobody posts,
It's
it's
okay.
weird. I'm gonna have to say probably Indiana, but I would love to see USF win. I would
Yeah.
love to see them win.
Agreed.
I think they have a lot of the talent that they need, so
Yeah.
it's just a matter of how everyone else does and how
Yeah.
they hit. So, but yeah, if I'm locking in a bet or a guess, it's gonna be Indiana.
So exciting.
Totally.
And you know, it's fun watching college nationals because we do have so many other friends that are coaching at the college level, and you almost are like there with them in spirit, and you're just like, oh, and Ole Miss, all girl. God dang it, there's so many. Love you, Ryan. Good luck. And we're talking about the competitive routine. I'm not even getting into game days. I don't care.
What?
Exactly. So if anybody's wondering if you're confused, don't worry, don't be.
Don't
We're
worry.
only talking about
Yeah.
the competitive routines.
Okay, so next division, small co-ed Division 1. So last year, the finalists were Ball State, Bowling Green, GCU, Hofstra, Purdue, James Madison, Jacksonville State, San Diego State, UAB, Delaware, Memphis, and Western Michigan. So this is the division that combined D1A small co-ed and D1 to just make it one small co-ed because it was just getting too small of pools of teams. So Purdue has won in the past, Memphis has won in the past. Delaware went from a large co-ed in their Division 1 and went to the small co-ed. That was a big chip to fall in terms of that. Hofstra, that's been a long standing, that's where Kate won all those times. That's
Right.
a very elite program. So that's a packed division. But for right now, that's tough.
What do you think?
I gotta put either money on, and we're not doing real money, I'm just saying that, Purdue or Memphis or Hofstra. That's kind of my top three grouping. Once again, haven't seen a single bit of routine, so I don't know, but just based on history and who I know coaches these programs
And
still.
choreographs too.
And choreographs.
That's a huge part.
It's a huge underlooked component of.
Yeah, you can't say that's not for now being. You can't say the choreographer is not a huge part. So you're thinking those three.
That's my top three, but I'm gonna guess.
Awful.
I know.
You're as bad as me. It's hard.
I'm gonna guess Memphis.
Okay. I'm going to say, because Purdue won recently, I think Memphis and Hofstra have a chip on their shoulder about it.
Hofstra does for sure.
Yeah, because Memphis won last year, right?
I think so. They didn't upload. They never finished the results.
Solid. Great job. You know, I kind of wish you had your old job back so you could make sure stuff was on the internet. But
I
it's
would
fine.
never
Okay.
leave people hanging.
I think Hofstra.
Lauren's gonna put Hofstra.
I am, because I kind of...
Did you hear that, Kate?
I do, because I think they've got to be hungry. They've got to be hungry, and when you're hungry, you work harder.
100%.
Now, do I think Purdue's working hard? Yes. Do I think Memphis is working hard? Yes. Do I think Hofstra's working hard? Yes. It's really going to depend on who hits and who's feeling good that day. So now, D1, large co-ed.
Yes, I got list last year's finals. it's a small division. So
It is.
this is Moorhead, Eastern Kentucky, and Lauren's alma mater, Wichita State. So small division, which goes into why they just compete once on Saturday for finals. There's not a semis. How many has Moorhead won? How many kids do we know on that team that are just absolutely crushing it with their skills? Marcus was crushing it with recruiting and choreographing his teams.
I'm going to say Wichita takes it.
All right.
I have to.
You have to.
Yeah. Let's go, Wichita.
I'm going to put my bet onto Moorhead.
They're good. I mean,
they're incredible.
they are. They're completely solid. And I know Wichita has a new coach this year, which is exciting. Just kind of a breath of fresh air. Like, sometimes
it's a transition year for them, and I hope
which can be scary.
it can be scary, but it
can also be exciting.
Yeah, because there's countless ways that you can, beat your own expectations as a coach or as an athlete with a new coach and a new season like that.
So I'm rooting for the Shockers. I hope they have a really good day because they're gonna need it against Moorhead.
Oh, 100%. Gotta hit
very hard to
clean.
beat.
Moving to D1 All Girl. So last year finalists for All Girl Division 1. East Tennessee State, Eastern Kentucky, Monmouth, Moorhead State, Sac State, Stony Brook, Southern Indiana, West Georgia, and Villanova. So a lot of talented teams there. Northern Arizona is a good team. Northern Kentucky, they missed out on finals last year. Long Beach State. There's a few other teams in there. Rhode Island, St. Cloud, Sacred Heart. So it's awesome. I didn't realize how many all-girl teams there were competing right now in this era, because when I competed, there weren't this many.
No, I don't think so. And I mean, we're now big fans of all-girl and how it works.
Way
because
more, yeah.
More than we used to be, because we used to be both on co-ed teams, so we were both huge fans of co-ed. What's your pick? What do you got for D1 all-girl?
Gotta go with the Wolves, those Lady Wolves of West Georgia. That's what I'm picking.
Yeah.
They've been money the last few years. They've been very focused and very dedicated on the goal of hitting. They push the boundaries. They're not there to just execute some intermediate and advanced skills.
Exactly.
They go out there and they push it and they have success with it and they have fun with it. So West Georgia is my vote.
University of West Georgia is also my vote. And I think they just have incredible coaches.
They do.
I think they have incredible coaches.
Nicole and Brian are great.
They're hungry, and I feel like the kids that come out of there are now the best all-girl stunters in the country. And that just goes to prove, I mean, the kids on our team,
They look up to him so much.
they look up to Katie Callan. They look up to Asia. They look up to all of those girls. I know they were watching Asia's YouTube videos of her going through Team USA.
The Nationals last year with West Georgia.
And it's not that I don't think Moorhead's capable. Moorhead is completely capable. It's going to probably come down to who's having the better day. They're both incredible. But who do we think will pull it out? I don't know. I would probably... I guess my vote is for University of West Georgia. So.
All right. And then moving into Division 2. So that'd be the large co-ed side. So last year, finalists, there's just 5 teams. I got the 2 Puerto Rico teams, Bayamon and Mayaguez. West Georgia, which is interesting that their co-ed team is Division 2, but because of those kind of combination groups, because UCA just makes them as they see fit, they put West Georgia into the Division 1 for all-girl, but for the co-ed team, they stay in Division 2. So then you also have Pitt State, Kansas School, and then Northwest Missouri State and Missouri School. So two groups that we know some people on. We know the coaching staffs loosely. Your thoughts on who's taking home that trophy? Cheer Division 2.
Northwest Missouri State used to bring it home.
They were
year after
they
year.
won
When you
several
and I
in a
were
row.
in college, they were on a roll.
Yeah, they were on a tear.
But it's probably got to be University of West Georgia again.
Yeah.
Like their co-ed's really stepped up over the last few years.
My vote, I'm gonna lock in West Georgia as well. I think they're gonna double repeat again like they did last year. That was impressive to watch, and it will be even more impressive again to watch each of them repeat. So good luck, Wolves.
Yeah, for sure.
Our last division that we're gonna highlight, Open Co-ed. So last year, Open Co-ed finals was Jones County Junior College, Shelton State Community College, Iowa Western Community College, and then University of Puerto Rico, Carolina, and Inter-American University, Puerto Rico. So 2 more Puerto Rico schools pushing the international, well, technically they're U.S. territory.
Yeah, that's like international, but national.
Pushing the borders of cheerleading from just to the continental U.S. So last year, Shelton State won again. I mean, they're up to like 19, 20.
I'd love to know. I know they're up there.
Mm-hmm. But Jones County is coached by 2 incredible coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I know Iowa Western's been vying for that top spot for a few years. They have a new coach. Was it this year or last year?
I think it was last year.
So hopefully they come prepared and hopefully see some success. Once again, haven't seen any of these routines.
I know,
So it's just a matter of guessing off of history and knowing these coaches and their work ethic. So the coaches at Jones County are Kentucky alums. They own a gym in the area. They know how to be successful with a co-ed routine. They've been on Team USA. It's Allie and Jeremy.
Yeah.
So, will they sneak in? Will they sneak one past Shelton? It's tough to say.
Do they know how long have they been there?
I want to say 4 or 5 years now. They've been there for a good while.
It's time. Love a good underdog.
Yeah.
I think they could sneak in there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to guess on who's going to win that division, who do you think's going to win and who do you want to win? Because that can be 2 different answers.
My answer is the same. I'm going to just throw it out there and I'm going to say Jones.
You think they're going to take it?
I think they could.
That's cool.
What
That'd be
about
awesome to
you?
see.
Do you have to split your guess?
I think I do have to split because I think Shelton.
They're indomitable.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're very good. Probably Shelton. Shelton's gonna take it, and then in my heart, Iowa Western. You are there forever.
Reavers.
Yes, go Reavers.
So we'll put our guesses up on social media. You guys can leave comments if you think we're totally insane or totally
We're gonna
accurate.
get roasted on some of those, man.
Hey,
People are gonna be like, "What? That's a stupid guess, don't he?"
quickest way to the right answer on the internet is to post the wrong answer.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true.
we'll see how many people say we are incorrect.
We love everybody. Everybody needs to do well, and then
I mean-
whoever hits the best wins.
I mean, I think Kentucky's going to take it home for D1A co-ed, but of course I'm rooting for my Jayhawks. They're in the mix.
Oh, totally.
They're there. Drake's been pushing them.
Someone else I'd like to see well is Ole Miss co-ed.
Mhm.
I want to see them do well because they didn't have the best performance last year. Oh, and the Raging Cajuns. I want to see them do well in that division too as like an underdog making
There's
finals.
a lot of teams in that Division 1 because
there's so many.
CU's in there. We want Tanner to do good. They've been
So-
fighting it.
So good. Oh, I want everybody to do well and I want everybody to make finals. This is not easy.
It's
Maybe
tough.
I'm glad we don't coach college. Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. But yep, I'm rooting for my Jayhawks.
Of course.
Let's go, baby. And I know Lauren's rooting for her Shockers.
Go Shocks.
As well as all of our friends that who college coaches, high school coaches, cheer coaches. We do it because of passion. No, not many of us do this for a full-time job,
Nope.
full-time gig. There's a few people who have been fortunate enough to land in places like that, and all the more power to you guys. Keep pushing your admin and keep pushing your athletic departments to give you that respect, because we do put in those hours as coaches, whether it is high school or college. So coaches, stand up, keep fighting for yourselves and for our careers, because these kids benefit from us. And then the beauty of it is we get to go to an awesome competition and you get to watch the best of the best compete. And so we're gonna be watching and see who takes home the trophy.
The only college national
Most
competition.
prestigious. Oh my God, you could read the pain in that caption. Not only was that a hilarious meme, but then they did it themselves.
I know.
Disconnected from the world, and they did it, and you could read the pain.
You might want to
on
give a little
Instagram.
preface of what we're talking about if people
No,
don't know.
I'm gonna flash it on the screen, and that's it. I'm not here to talk trash, but I'm here to have a good time.
Can I have a thought on that though?
Yes.
Like, I feel like there's a very high chance that it was, okay, Monica was interviewed, and there's a very good chance that she was like, okay, well, there's 2 college national championships.
It's all about the cut.
And you know that they edited it in a way where they're just like, okay, this doesn't make any sense, because it doesn't. And then let's not confuse the viewers who are not cheerleaders and they're like, yeah. What if that was the case?
Oh,
I would love to know
totally
if that's
was.
how it was edited.
But can we please work as an industry to have
To get one and just
to
have
one
one?
style and one championship so that we can see
Yes.
20 times Shelton against 14 times Navarro against whatever Trinity Valley is.
I'd love
Mix all those junior colleges in there.
Yeah.
We all have been dying to see Louisville versus Kentucky versus Oklahoma State
Yeah.
for decades. Now throw in Texas Tech and Ohio State into
Yeah.
that mix. Woo, that's a competition.
Yeah, it is. It
Like,
really is.
let's
And it is
go.
such different styles. But imagine if they all had to work towards like a combined score sheet and
Yeah.
to see where it ended up.
Can
That
you
would
please,
be awesome.
ICU, can you step up and
Here's-
give us a
Yes.
formula for the sport, please? USA
know.
Cheer, somebody?
I had another thought. They didn't cover Stunt Fest at all.
No, they did not.
And we loved how raw and honest this was the entire time, from like injuries to mental health stuff to, I could just go on, and they didn't cover Stunt Fest at all. Maybe the editing staff got some footage and were like, this doesn't really help tell our story.
That's the biggest thing I think of why it wasn't included. They were
But how
trying-
many of y'all out there would love to see some Stunt Fest footage? Because I know when I went stalking after some of these kids, they put up their Stunt Fest footage, and you should have seen the pass that Lexi did in the middle of Stunt Fest.
Did she?
It was insane on hard,
Dirt.
moist grass, like in dirt. Yeah, it was just incredible. So I was like, kind of like, oh, they didn't cover Stunt Fest at all. I understand why, but I was just kind of still like, oh, Stunt Fest is fun.
All right. Episode 6. Thanks for listening to the Mark Thru. We'll see you guys after College Nationals.
Music's on. That's what you point out your hour to be like, music's on.
That goes in the intro.
You ready for this? Who live is us? Who lit is this? Who real is us? We too legit. We are M-A-R-K-T-H-R-U. Mark Thru Podcast. Listen and learn. Watch and observe. Challenging us. They got some nerve. We great. You mad? Don't hate. Get to it. Don't wait. We do not hesitate. We doing what it takes. What we do. Mark Thru.